everyone, welcome back to another episode of Bits and Bytes. I'm sad to say this is going to be our last one just for the year though. So do not worry, we will have a new season coming up in the next year. We will make announcements on when we start bringing in guests. It will likely be kind of maybe around February, March, just to give us a little downtime to start preparing for that as well. Anyway, so it is a special month for us. It is the last month of the year. So as always, just like we did last year, we are going to be doing a launch team special. This time, we are able to actually be in the office today. So I made sure to take advantage of the opportunity and bring in some interesting snacks.
So if you guys are listening to this just on podcast or Spotify or whatever, take time to go over to our YouTube and check out the video edition because you can see our brand new... what do we call it? The media room, podcast room. It's still pretty bare. We're still decorating, but it works.
It's a work in process for sure. All right. So for those of you that are listening in, we have Camille here who has recently joined our launch team. She joined us remotely initially. And so it was actually only maybe a few months ago that we actually got to all meet in face to face. So yeah, Camille, how about you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. So after attending so many Bits and Bytes episodes, I'm really happy to be on camera today. I mean, not so happy because I'm pretty nervous, but it's going to be okay. But yeah, my name is Camille. So I joined the team like almost 2 years ago, a year and a half ago now. And I first met my coworkers like 3 months ago. So I first worked remotely and now we are all working together in the office, so I'm pretty happy about that. And what am I doing in the company? So I'm a program specialist now, and I'm pretty much working with Jim and Sam on all the programs that Launch Academy has.
Yep.
So was your first impression like, why is everybody so short?
No, it wasn't actually. No, my first impression was like pretty, she's super tall, and not other than that.
Fair enough.
I like how she only mentioned Pratish.
Yeah.
Being tall.
The rest of us are not tall. But on camera and on our voice tells us that we're 7 feet too.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, I have gotten comments that, you know, I have a tall person attitude. Like, I've met some of my friends. Well, some of the friends that I got to meet recently in person, we were always online friends. But when we actually went face to face, they were like, oh, I thought you would be taller. So, you know, they said that I have this tall person persona. So maybe it's a good thing. I don't know.
That's the only thing that you cannot really get in camera, right?
Oh, yeah.
No. For sure. And it's already weirder because we're doing this live instead of on Zoom like we always do.
Yeah.
Like, what did we do with our hands? Like, I don't know where to do anything. Like, it's like we did like 1 or 2 episodes of Bits and Bytes like at the office or at our old office. But like I don't remember anything about it anymore.
Yeah.
It definitely feels like it was a lifetime ago. Like the whole, you know, the pandemic, the lockdowns, it feels almost as if it, you know, I mean, we're still kind of like breaching out of it, but it's in some ways, it almost feels like a gap year to me.
Yeah, except first of all, it was 2 years. And secondly, it felt like a decade.
Yeah. Yeah, so actually speaking on that though, like as I mentioned, like Camille joined us during the lockdown. So that was why she only got to meet us pretty recently, like 3 months ago. So yeah, Camille, like what was it like joining a team that was all working from home? Like you couldn't get, you know, there's no office really to meet up with and just not being able to see your coworkers face to face. Like how was that adjustment period for you?
Yeah. So at the beginning, it was a bit weird because that was my first time working remotely ever. So it was kind of like a challenge at the beginning, I would say. But you guys made it like very easy for me, and like we have a lot of tools that are helping us on a day-to-day basis, like collaboration tools and stuff like that. So it was actually not that much of a challenge. But yeah, I was definitely super happy to meet you in person after a few months, because that was like kind of long.
We paid you to say that though.
Yeah. Is Ray listening or let's see where he's listening.
Maybe.
He's listening into everything. Nah. No, but it's honestly fantastic that, you know, you have us joined. And I honestly, like, I think it was a challenge for everyone on the team.
Yeah.
Because prior to the lockdowns, we were always in the office space, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. We had lots of companies that were also like renting office space, and we had lots of people. And going from a very bustling, social environment to suddenly working from home, it was I think it was a challenging transition period, I think, for a lot of us. But it's really great that, we're able to kind of slowly get back on our feet. We got a new office located in the heart of Yaletown now, which is absolutely gorgeous, and it still has the same vibes as our old Gastown one. And we have new faces, Pratish and Camille over here. Maybe one day we'll bring in Pratish for one of our episodes.
Then we need to adjust the height of the camera, though.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. Do we have to lift the table as well a little bit too, maybe?
We got to angle it so he's just as tall as us. We're really hyping up Pratish's height. Pratish is our marketing manager, just for those that haven't met him. But he's just in the next room.
Anyways, yeah. So, Camille, how about you share with us, or actually, like, this is just kind of a question for all of us, I guess, over the last 2 years, I mean, there's definitely been a lot of changes, a lot of challenges and so forth. So, like, just kind of like more of like a reflection piece for this episode. Like, what were some of the biggest challenges that you guys faced that, you felt like you came over?
Yeah. So at the beginning, like, meeting new people was kind of weird because it has been like 2 years that I haven't met any new person in my life. So, like, I was like surrounded by new people. So that was actually really cool. And then another type of challenge, I would say, like, of course, you need to get used to your new environment and start working with new people. So that was kind of challenging as well. And also for me, like, English is not my mother tongue. So it was kind of complicated at the beginning, like talking English every single day and like for a few hours, like in a row, or like I've been challenged a lot during this year, like having to host like not webinars but like pitch sessions and those kind of things, which was really rewarding at the end of the day, but like quite challenging as well, for me at least.
Yeah, no, I can imagine, like, especially like, coming from a totally different country and then coming here, and it was just kind of the way that life played the cards. Like, you didn't even get to meet us until like a good like year or so in, and then definitely a lot of challenges. But honestly, I have to say, like, having you on the team, it's been the greatest addition. So
she's gonna cry now.
Yeah, I paid her to say that as well. So.
Don't worry, we'll make you cry in other ways too later on.
Wait, what? I didn't sign up for this.
We definitely have some interesting snacks and games that we're gonna be playing. So we'll see. Maybe one of these snacks will make me cry. Yeah. We'll get those emotions running high.
Okay.
But yeah, what about you, Sam? Like, what were some of the biggest challenges that you faced this year and you felt that you were able to overcome?
Do you mean like this year or these?
Oh, I guess years? See what I mean? Like, the pandemic lockdown just kind of blurred together for me. So let's say the the last 2 years.
I mean the funny answer is like, it was more challenging for my wife than me because we work out of the same office and we have computers side by side. And previously, like, she used to work in there much more often when I was at the office. But like when I'm there, I'm so loud and I'm doing things on webcams and webinars and all that kind of stuff. So that was really annoying for her.
Typing super loud.
Typing super loud, which Camille is learning of all my mechanical keyboards. They don't get softer. By the way, so you'll have that to enjoy. But like I think it's a couple of different things. I think perspective, as these last 2 years have definitely changed me and the work we do here at Launch, right? Like, I think it's forced us to, and I wouldn't say that we're a very bureaucratic company anyway to begin with. Like, we're 6 people deep, 7 people deep. It's not like there's a lot of like hierarchy or things to go forth. But like, in working with our companies and working with each other, like, we're really, like, the 2 years really forced us to look at work as just a part of life. And I'm sounding way more like deep than I mean to be, but what I mean by that is like I find that we as a team will have to try and check on each other's like mental health as well as physical health, because in one sense it feels like, okay, well, if I'm your manager, am I being too nosy by like asking if you're healthy or things like that? But purely from a business perspective, if our team is not healthy in one way or another, then we have nothing to produce anyway.
Yeah.
right? So like to some degree, and finding that balance of like, okay, when are we, you know, stepping in too personal, right? What is the boundaries? What are the boundaries? Like kind of trying to reimagine those, I think is something that like I've definitely felt like was a challenging experience. I think it's also brought us virtually as a team a little bit closer together. Like we've been forced to try and be creative with different ways, through different things, and all of it revolves around cameras, voices, things like that, right? Which isn't the best for everybody. Like I'll be completely honest. Like I don't think everybody likes having like a camera or webcam on and headphones on and things like that. And so it's trying to figure out everybody's comfort level with different things, right? Like that's been really difficult, and that extends to the companies we work with, right? Like I think I learned, like one of my founders, and I'm not going to say who, like they're not that comfortable with web calls, right? Like it gave them stress, it gave them anxiety. Yeah. So it's like, how do you work around that when we can't meet person to person? And then there's other people that are like, we don't like in-person meetings. Like all my customers are online. I live in a virtual world. I don't want to like talk like, you know, in person. So it's really like learning like there's the tasks that need to be done are still the same tasks, but then learning about the humans behind it. And you have to kind of take a little extra half step for everything you do. Yep. But I think it also makes it a little bit more meaningful because now everybody you're working with are people, right? Not just like, okay, make sure you check off this box, check off that box. And so I'd say like the biggest challenge, but I think it's also like the biggest thing I've learned.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, I really like that you brought up the point about like mental health and physical health and such, because I think that for me was like one of my biggest challenges as well to overcome. You know, when you're stuck in your home environment where you live in, but you also work in, the line begins to blur quite a lot between, okay, like when am I really off work or am I really like on work? Can I still do things like, you know, like cleaning the dishes, making lunch, or is that technically like it's like such small things, but you realize that it starts to take kind of like it starts to add up in your mind quite a lot. And obviously as well, like the mental health aspect where you talked about, you know, connection. Like people crave human connection in various ways, but the method of doing so varies. Some people prefer to have like in-person connections, whereas some are more comfortable doing these virtual ones. So totally feel that on that front where, you know, being isolated, especially for those that, you know, maybe living alone or don't have friends or families that are close by, it was definitely a really rough time, I think, for a lot of us. So
yeah. And I mean, not to plug our own programs, but that's really been like the motivation between what we want to build with the entrepreneurs that live in our community with Launchpad, right? Like it's understood that like, and my thesis is that if you want to learn about the very practical ways on how to build a startup, like how to register a business, how to build a product, how to code, like those pieces of data can be found online probably for free. Period, across the board, right? But what we're trying to do is using those pieces of data or using those pieces of information as catalysts for human connection. And the of course the nerdy and fancy term we always use is like startup community, right? But like that's the core of the community is like, okay, while we're living this part of life together, in our case it's people who happen to be building companies, like who are you walking alongside? Right. And those are up days and down days and things like that. And so we're continually trying, and I wouldn't say we figured it out, but we're trying to figure out different ways to make that just 1% better.
Yeah, exactly. It's about the collective experience essentially. Yeah. And the people that you like looking at our companies, all of them, you know, the one thing that they share is that they're all trying to, you know, find success for the company. They're trying to grow their company. They're trying to make sure that their team, you know, is, you know, mentally and healthy, spiritually healthy. And then you have issues such as, you know, business might be going down. Businesses might be failing because of the economy, because of the lockdowns. But all of these challenges, each founder that we have in our program are going through in a very similar manner. But it's at least nice to know that there is going to be someone else just, you know, right next door, easily accessible through our Slack channels, through our programs that you can meet, and then even share your own personal experience and connect to them on that level, and maybe even learn from their experiences or what they've, how they handled their own challenges that they faced. So
I think like even during the pandemic, like some of our entrepreneurs have build like very strong relationship among them. So I can't wait for them to meet in person, so to see what's different and how they can like help each other out and do different things. So yeah, I think it's one of the things I look the most forward to for next year, like having in-person events and like meeting people in real life and see how they can like build those connections and help each other out, like with business-wise or like on their personal life as well.
Yeah. And actually, on that note, though, we do have some exciting news, which is that we have had some companies land in Vancouver recently.
Yeah.
So far in the recent months, we've had 3 companies land. So we have Video.ai. We also have Drimco, as well as Revar.
Yeah.
I never say it right, so
Yeah.
it's
Revar. Yeah.
app.app.app. So there's the
Yes.
proper plug for you guys. We'll make sure we'll leave the links in the descriptions
Mm-hmm.
if you want to check what some of the companies doing. All sorts of cool stuff from video advertising to VR AR experiences. Drimco specifically does this insurance software. So if you're in that industry, definitely check those guys out, and we'll make sure to leave the links.
Yep. Yeah, but I mean, speaking like, just for me personally, being able to see like the founders face to face, physically here, you always hear their voices, you always can kind of see them on video, but it's just, and obviously a lot of email back and forth, but it's a different feeling to actually see them and physically in the office, and just to see the amount of excitement that they have to finally be in Canada. Some of these companies have been working for like over a year, really, throughout her whole program, just to finally receive their work permit and travel over to Canada. So for some of them, this was a very, very long process, very grueling one as well. But you can just tell that this was a really great choice that they're really excited about. So that personally brings me a lot of joy. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
What are you guys kind of excited about then, like kind of this coming year? Because, we do have more companies that are scheduled to kind of land throughout the different cohorts that we have for phase 4. So January is going to definitely be more of our official start for those that are listening in. We do have at least 4 companies that are scheduled to land in January or early February. And then as the months go on, we'll be having a more rolling basis, and hopefully more companies will be arriving. We can start building that in-person community more. But what are some things that you guys are more excited about for the following year?
For me, I would say it's like having those in-person events. And also, since I started like a year and a half ago, it was like right in the middle of, right at the beginning of the pandemic. So I actually I've never really met any companies. And the companies that I've started the program when I was starting working here are not here yet. So I've actually never really met any company I started working with. I mean, Revar is an exception, but the other were already in the programs before I joined the company. So I feel like I've started to build like very strong relationship with a lot of companies. So I can't wait to meet them in person and like give them advice, like, because I'm, as a foreigner myself, as an immigrant myself, I've been through a lot of things that they will have to go through as well. So like in terms of like, I don't know, getting a SIN number, or all those like administrative stuff that can be like a big cumbersome at the beginning. I've been through it all, so I'm like happy to share my experience with them and like give them advice on, I don't know, we always do that, like giving them advice about like good restaurants or good hiking places to go to or things like that.
Now that's not all we do.
No, that's not all we do.
But you reminded me, and I can't remember if this was on the questions list later, but like you mentioned you're an immigrant, if they couldn't tell of your French accent. She is from France, not Quebec, France. But you moved here, right? Like, what was it, 3 years ago, 2 years ago?
3 years ago now, almost.
Okay, why did you decide to move here, first of all? And by here, I mean Vancouver.
Yeah. So I think I had like different options, because like there is like a visa program in France that is called the working holiday visa. So it's like similar in different countries, but like I had the options between like Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Singapore, and those kind of the different other countries. But I don't know why, but I was like, I've always wanted to live in Canada because of like the huge space that we have here and like the nature and stuff like that. And then why did I choose Vancouver? Because I went to Toronto, didn't really like it. I didn't want to stay.
We're gonna have some Toronto slander. In
Oh no.
No.
Make some enemies.
It was like the big city compared, like pretty similar to Paris, right? And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to live abroad, because I didn't want to live in Paris anymore. So I was like, I'm not gonna live in Toronto if I try to escape from Paris. And then Montreal is like the French-speaking part of the country, and I didn't want to live in a French environment. So like the next big city was definitely Vancouver. And actually before moving here, I didn't want to check anything about the city. I didn't even know what it looked like and stuff like that. I just wanted to live like the full experience and see how I will react in like my new environment straight away. So like I took the train from Montreal to Vancouver, and that's how I discovered the city for the first time, like at the train station, and just be there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Took one train from Montreal all the way here.
Yeah, there was a 4 days train, so quite intense.
Royal Canadian Railroad, pride and joy of Canada.
Yeah.
I still need to go on that one.
That's the thing. Like when we have conversations off air, like we always make fun that Camille's more Canadian than us.
Yeah.
And we grew up here, because like I haven't done a lot of the things that she's already done in Vancouver.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm sure you have a lot of people have done more things in France that I have. So.
And then so to put you on the spot, like what's one thing that you're surprised that you enjoyed this much about Vancouver, and then reversely, what's one thing that you're like, not so good?
Yeah. I think the thing I love the most about Vancouver is like living by the mountains. Like everything is like super close. Like you can ski during winter, you can hike during summer, and I love hiking. So that's like one of the main reasons why I decided to move here. But on the other side, like there is some stuff that I'm a bit skeptical about, like that I don't understand. For example, like the banking system or the healthcare system or like the school system here. I don't really understand what's going on. So I'm like, I need to like study that to make sure that I'm like investing my money properly and that I'm not like using like.
And there's no book on that, right?
Yeah.
Like there's lots of pages on the internet, but then on the internet you're like, okay, well, what's real? Which one's accurate and things like that.
Yeah.
That's funny you say mountains, because you see mountains as like a plus. Yeah. I see mountains as more calories burned. It's harder for me to get upstairs because there's an incline.
Oh, come on.
Speaking of stairs, you know, for those that haven't tried the grouse grind yet, that is a combination of both the stairs and the mountain. Yeah. So I don't know about you, Camille. Have you tried it yet?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, before I go forward, like for any old timers that are listening, or you know, OG supporters of Launch Academy, like we lived the grouse grind, man. It was every day at work, 3 flights of stairs, up and down, beer runs. So anyway, back to your grouse grind leisure experience.
Yeah, I feel like you cannot be a real Vancouverite if you haven't climbed the grouse grind, right? I mean, I did it like 3 months ago, so it wasn't that long ago. But I mean,
how did it feel?
I thought it would be easier, to be honest, because there's so many people doing it that I was like, okay, shouldn't be too complicated. But then like people were like timing themselves and like trying to be as fast as possible, and you had those kids like there was like huge stairs and they could barely like try to go up, and I was like, oh my god, so this is actually a real thing in Vancouver, like the grouse grind.
Yeah. Did it hurt? Did it hurt?
No, not that much.
I feel like it's always, grouse grind is one of those things that feel like so deceptive, because you hear stories about like like people take their kids there, and you're like, okay, like if the kids are doing it, like how bad can it be? And then when you get there, you're kind of like, oh, like is it just stairs? Like
yeah.
And then you're like, what's the big deal? I can do some stairs. But then, like, I think it's the first sign that's the most demoralizing.
I'm glad that you brought that up, because, you know, you talked about deception.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, because then the first time you're like, oh, okay, we're almost there. And then it's like, I don't remember. It's been like 10 years since I did it, right? But like, it's like 1/5 of the way or like quarter mile or something. And
quarter
like,
mark.
Oh, crap.
It's like, it's time to give up if you're already tired of
Yeah, I remember my first time doing the grouse grind with some friends, and like just going up, you know, it was already very challenging. I think it was like maybe 20 minutes in, and we saw that quarter marker, and I just wanted to just.
It's so mean.
It took every like willpower I had left in me to just keep going, because you know, when you have friends with you, like you don't want to be that one person that like gives up, you know, like. And so luckily I had my friends to like help push me, but oh man, if that was me on my own, I would have just turned right around real quick.
Well, if it was me on my own, I wouldn't have been there in the first place.
Yeah, so for those that are not in Vancouver yet, definitely if you want to become officially titled as a Vancouverite, Grouse Grind, that will be that will be your official
Yep. And I mean, like, athletes do it, and they struggle too. Like, one of the big things about the local hockey team here is they make their training camp, whether it's players or kids or whatever, prospects, they all do the gross grind, and those guys are professional athletes. They struggle. Other people when they vacation here, like, they also struggle. Like, there was a basketball star called Jimmy Butler. He came and did the gross grind, and he was dying. He's like one of the fittest people on earth.
Wow.
So, you know.
That's good to know, yeah.
Yep. Amazing. Yeah, well, moving on then, I just wanted to kind of, you know, touch in a little bit, just kind of talking a little bit about, you know, the episodes, the guests that we had over the course of the last year. And like, maybe, you know, if you guys want to share, what were some of the highlights that you found? Like, what was one or two guests that we had? Like, what really stood out to you? Or maybe even just like excerpts or something that they talked about or shared with that really touched you or stood out to you? What were some of those parts that you may have on your mind?
I think one of my favorite one, I had a couple actually, because like I was like re-listening to some of them like a few weeks ago, but I think one of my favorite one was the one we had with Sweetie.
Yes.
From like not NBA Top Shot, but she was talking about NFTs and and stuff like that. It was super interesting to me because I was like just getting into the space, the NFT blockchain space, and like she gave us like a lot of insights on how, because like she started NBA Top Shot pretty much at the same time as you told us about that. So I was like, oh, maybe I
January or February.
Yeah, I was like, oh, maybe I should have been that. I could have been that successful too. Did that happen? Yeah. But yeah, that was one of my favorite episodes, I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
You can go first.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's quite a number. I mean, a lot of the guests that we brought on, all of them have such unique experiences, such unique journeys, and they do all have something to kind of share and teach. And I think the top two that probably stood out the most to me, one was Vancouver Foodie.
I knew you were going to say so.
Well, if it's not obvious by now.
You mean you host a show called Bits and Bytes and you liked Vancouver Foodie?
Well, I mean, it was for several reasons too. Aside from the fact that, you know, it involved food and she's a food blogger, just her. So for those that might not be familiar, I also had my time working as kind of a video game influencer per se. I was a Twitch broadcaster for a number of years, and so I think I related a lot to Emma from Vancouver Foodie, because just the amount of time and energy that you put into creating content, managing your socials, but still trying to maintain that balance of being passionate about your work, but also passionate for the love of what you're doing. It's a fine balance, and I think she did a really great job of like kind of explaining, and you also kind of understand that to us as a consumer, if you go on Instagram or you go on Facebook and you see all these photos or videos, you just think, oh, okay, like that looks really easy. Yeah. I'm sure they just kind of like filmed it and then it's done. And it's the same thing that I experienced when I was streaming video games. People just kind of figured, oh, hey, like, don't you just turn on your webcam and play video games? Like, a lot of the audiences don't understand that there is a lot of mental work. There's a lot of preparation that goes into it. There's a lot of energy. It's very time consuming, and the impact it may also have just in general on your mental health as well. So I really loved having Emma here to kind of share her experiences on that and kind of shed more light on the background of being an influencer. I know she doesn't like being called an influencer, but in a way, you know, when you have such a large social media presence, what you have to say and your opinion does also resonate with a lot of people that are watching you.
Yeah.
The other
so I think everybody's hitting pause right now and trying to Google Jean's old Twitch channel. We're not gonna link this one because like, we want to keep some mystery out.
Just keep it a little bit of mystery. If you find it, you find it. But the other one that I really, really enjoyed, and I might be a little bit biased because, you know, is David. David runs Demova. He has his app Pineapple, and obviously it might be a little bit biased of us because he is also part of our Maple program. But beyond that, I really loved having David here as a guest. He really touched, he had a very passionate way of expressing why he feels technology is going to change the world, essentially. And beyond that too, how making technology much more available across the world on a global level is going to increase, you know, life satisfaction, is going to increase education, is going to increase overall happiness. Because if we keep limiting technology advancement to, you know, first world countries or those that have access to it, then the potential for innovation or new technology or new ideas is going to be so limited. But if we're able to share what we know and share the knowledge that we have and create those opportunities, the world will advance much faster. And I think David does a really good job of kind of elaborating on that. And he does it by example as well. Like one of the first apps that he's created using AR technology is to help the visually impaired. And we'll definitely link his episode again, but I think it was our September.
It's just the previous one from this one.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, it was our November episode release. So definitely check it out. Really great guy. And also check out his no-code app, Pineapple, as well, which is trending quite hotly on the Apple Store as well. So
she doesn't know it because she's an Android user. No, that's awesome. I think the one, I was just looking through the episodes as we're talking. I think we had a lot of fun with Chris Hobbs.
Oh, yes, Chris.
Chris Hobbs also runs a podcast called Afternoon Tea. Also runs a software studio called Triple T Studios, which he runs with his twin brother, and they're both super tall. They are super tall in real life, by the way. Height is a recurring topic in this podcast. But I think I just appreciated his, like, you could tell that he has a lot of energy to what he does, and part of that energy is because he enjoys what he's doing, right? And I know it's like very token to be like do what you love and whatever, and let's be real, especially in today's society when so many people are without jobs, period, right? Like doing what you love is in some ways it's a luxury or a privilege, right? But with Chris, like one of the most fascinating things I learned about him was like he built the company that he wanted to build, and then he gave up the CEO spot. And so I'm not going to leak the entire episode, so you're going to have to go back and listen to it if you haven't listened to it before. But like he kind of goes into, and then the long and short of it is he's like, I found someone that was better, right? And in that case, I think it takes a lot of humility to be like, hey, I'm not as good as this as if someone else was doing it. Right. And I think there's a crazy story there. And I think you know, one of the stereotypes of like entrepreneurs or founders is like, you know, we're narcissistic or egotistical or you know, all these kind of negative connotations. But some people really just love building things, and it doesn't have to be just them that builds it. Right. And he's built something cool, and now he's happy to kind of pass along what he's built. And so I found that to be kind of really interesting. Just seeing like, you know, and I remember when Triple T Studios was created. Actually, this is like a long time ago. You were probably in like primary school. I actually don't remember how long ago it was, but yeah, like it's cool to see like their team is growing and the projects they're doing have grown immensely. And he still has lots of time to hang out with us on our podcast, along with like tons of other podcasts. And he's a great Vancouver community figure.
Definitely. And I do want to mention too, like obviously we've only shared kind of the ones that, you know, are highlights, but obviously I think overall all of our guests
picking your children.
It was very difficult. Like obviously, like for me, there's a reason why we bring in each of our guests. We do try to make sure that, you know, there's two ways to look at it. The overall goal of Bits and Bytes is to create kind of a broader picture of what it really is to be an entrepreneur, what it's like to work within the tech industry, and to kind of have people share their own life experiences or what they've learned along the way in their own journey. And so, you know, each of the guests that we bring on, like, they always have at least some kind of unique experience that they're willing to share. And that's what I really, really love about everyone that has come on the show so far. And on that note, actually, you know, for the next season, we are going to be looking at bringing in new guests. We may even bring in some of our previous guests for, like, you know, a second rerun, see what they've been up to over the last year. But I know that, you know, some of you may be itching, or you may know a superstar within your own workplace, or you may know another entrepreneur that's, you know, starting up their own company, and you want to, you know, they have an amazing story that, you know, that you think will hit the hearts of our viewers or listeners. So we are going to be starting to take in some intake forms, so we will make sure to link it. If you know anyone, or if you yourself wants to join us as a guest, please feel free to fill out that form, and we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, and if you just want somebody on our podcast, just send us a tweet at Launch Academy HQ.
Yep.
The forms can come later, and then we can look into making it happen.
Yeah.
But on that note, this is a cool professional transition point, right? Like, when we started this show two years ago now, it's crazy. Like, one of the big themes was, like, we didn't want to be just another startup show, right? We didn't want to, like, I think fun was, like, a requirement. It wasn't optional. We had to have fun. And obviously we've had a lot of fun talking to a lot of guests. We listened to the stories. We've done an immense amount of talking throughout the years. But we were really insistent on the show being called Bits and Bytes, because a very key part of being in Vancouver is, like, I think okay, there's foodies, but honestly, I think everybody in Vancouver is a foodie to some degree. Like, I'm probably already on, like, the lowest tier of foodies, but even for myself, I'll be honest, like, I find that I have, like, a lot of random opinions on random food things.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Like, if, like, you just have to have an opinion on food if you want to, like, have social life in Vancouver.
Yeah.
So with that said, you've prepared some things for specifically for Camille.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we went to the Candy Room in Vancouver. So there is a location right on Robson. They have a wide assortment of different weird, popular, or even, like, old school candy, snacks, and everything like that. So I made sure to pick out some very interesting ones here. So for those that are watching, as you can see, we have the, what are these called? Oh, Blue Heat Takis.
Wait, are they actually blue?
Yep, these are actually coated in blue. Isn't there Doritos?
That cannot be good.
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about this one, to be honest.
Like, we don't even have globs of water here.
It is considered hot chili pepper flavors, so same intensity, new look. And then we also have here, so these candies are actually from the UK. They're essentially these hard sour candies, and they are supposedly rated as the most sour candy available in the world.
Sorry, right here, like, that little bag?
Yes.
Most sour in the world.
Yes, but obviously that could be up for debates, but I think within
that better be marketing.
I have actually looked up before on Reddit and Google search and forums what people consider to be the most sour candy, and this was one of the most popular suggestions. And the Candy Room in Vancouver is one of the only ones that has it available. I believe you can also buy these on Amazon as well, depending on which location you're from. But
How are those called then?
I don't actually recall the name.
Yeah. Oh.
Right.
But they're from the UK, so
non-named European.
yeah.
Like, we've been filming for a good, like, what, 40 minutes now? We're like 40 minutes deep. Like, I eyeballed those because I didn't know what you guys got, and I felt like a tingle in my tongue, and I haven't eaten anything yet.
You can tell already.
Like, I can feel it without trying it.
Yeah. I will just say, that each of these snacks that we brought on, like, so as Sam mentioned, there was always going to be a food aspect to our shows, and the key part was that it wanted to be a food challenge. I wanted to go very sadistic when it came to these food challenges, and so I believe that I've done
you got blue chips and the most sour candy in the world.
Yeah, and it doesn't stop there, guys, because we also got I'm not sure if you can hear this, but
in front of the mic.
Oh, sorry. So for those that are watching, we have the Bean Boozled party pack. So this is obviously Camille's first time hearing of Bean Boozled, so this is going to be really exciting. So for those that are not familiar with Bean Boozled as well, they came out with a game. It comes with a little spinner. And essentially, they have their regular flavors, which include peach, birthday cake, the fruity, toasted marshmallows. Let's see what else.
Sounds
Berry
nice, right,
blue.
Yeah,
She's lying to you.
Yeah, but they have a twist to this. They have also included very, very. I don't know what the word would be to describe these flavors.
I want the audio listeners to know that I am physically shaking my head right now. I want you to hear the sound of me shaking my head.
Just to give you guys an idea of what flavors that these could possibly be, we have barf flavor.
Barf.
Vomit.
There is also dead fish.
Oh no.
And stinky socks.
Oh, that's the least worst.
Yeah, I
Yes.
also remember like burger ones. Grass.
Oh yes, grass.
What other weird? I've eaten all the bad ones.
Yeah,
That
I think.
reminds me of a Harry Potter. Right?
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
a Harry Potter version of this, but we got the
Non-branded.
original non-branded version. So,
how are we gonna do
I
this?
think.
So you
I
can
mean,
start some.
so let's just take a vote. How would you guys like? In which order do you want to try these snacks? Because I mean, we got the really really spicy, we got the really really sour, and then we got, it could either be. It's a very 50-50 chance that you're gonna get a really amazing flavor to clean the palate, or you're gonna be kind of losing your appetite for the rest of the day. So
So I think we should start with the snacks, and then end off with the Bean Boozled.
with a Bean Boozled, okay,
I don't know how many times we're gonna do this. Maybe like twice each.
yeah, let's
We can
say
do it twice
2
each.
times each.
There's like 60 beans in there, so
Yeah.
so we're not gonna do them all on air and bore you guys to death, and also it won't be too
we
pleasant for
we
us.
still want to maintain our
Yeah.
appetite. We have a team
Yeah.
dinner
So-
later on, so
So pass the tackies. The blue sheet doesn't seem so bad now, right?
all right, yeah. I mean, hey, like they're blue. It could be just like Doritos. Like I've never had these myself, but
Okay, this looks like blue food coloring
Yeah.
salt on like a Cheeto.
It's like Smurfs colors.
it's like those. Have you guys seen those like French fry chips?
Yes.
It's like that, but it's like covered in blue chemical flavoring.
All right, let's go for it.
Okay.
It's okay. It's kind of like
It's not that bad, yeah.
It has like
it's
a
like a
lemony.
knockoff Cheeto.
Oh, it's a tahine. I'm not sure if you guys had the tahine before, but it's like that lemon, or not lemons, the lime flavored salt with like chili.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the hint of chili lime in it,
Mm.
but I don't think I would enjoy like having a bag of this.
Oh no, like just one is fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't think it's bad tasting. I just don't think it's like a snack that you're like, oh, let me watch this movie and have these blue Takis.
It's pretty spicy though, right?
I think that was the intention.
Yeah. At the beginning it was like okay.
And I think it will build like the more you
Oh
have.
yeah.
Yeah, it is considered on the extreme level of spice. So I have a feeling that if there are any listeners from the U.S., though, we might get some heat
Yeah,
because I
like,
know Takis is like.
Takis are loved by my American friends. I have no idea why.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
Sorry, we're Canadians, so we like our Doritos and
Well,
our.
I got flamed from my American friends the other day for being obsessed with ketchup chips.
Oh my gosh, ketchup chips are amazing.
See, there you go. We're so patriotic. We want our chips the same color as our flags.
All right. So I did prepare some tissues here because I know that this may be one of those things that you might want to not, take on the whole time.
So for those that are watching the video again.
So we're gonna have live vomiting followed by flavored.
I feel
jelly
like this
beans.
is a very like if you're not comfortable with
Nothing bad is gonna happen. I think. Well, these are candies, right?
Yeah,
So-
it's
so,
essentially
like,
candy. It's just
it's
gonna be
gonna
very,
turn
very
sweet,
sour.
right?
It's like those videos where moms give their babies lemons for the first time, and the faces that they make. It's kind of like that. Oh, Camille's already. How's it feeling, Sam?
I don't know. I like it. I like sour candy though. I think my problem with this is it's way too big. And trying to describe it while eating it. Like, I'm really afraid that I'm going to choke live on air right now. And now I've made them, like, laugh, which makes it worse. But, like,
very sour. I'm almost crying right now.
I really liked sour candies as a kid, so that's why, like, they're not having a good time.
Oh.
I'm okay. Also, you can push it to the side, in which case, then it's not sour for that second. But, like, this is sour to the point of salty.
Yeah.
So, not... I don't know if kids would like it. I think kids might cry.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But, isn't it supposed to get sweet by now? So, I think that's the difference is, like, most sour candies, by now, like, 45 seconds of me trying to describe it with a big, big ball in my... big candy ball in my mouth. It should be sweet by now.
Yeah.
But it's still going. It's still sour. So I think that's... Like, Jean's already packaging it up. She's like, I don't want anything else to do with this.
I think we're good.
Okay, so I've made it. 50 seconds into talking, it's now no longer sour. Now it's just another giant, like, jawbreaker. So...
Yeah.
I might spit it out soon because I don't want to keep this thing in my...
You may regret that later because, some of these flavors, you might need that.
Yeah, but you wanted the full experience, right? So I'm here to have the full experience.
Awesome. All right. So in the meantime, as they are finishing up their...
Finishing up.
finishing up their jawbreakers, I am going to move on to the Jelly Bellies. So... just to give you an idea of what the bad flavors are, I got a whole comprehensive list here. We have liver and onions, rotten egg, barf, booger. How do you pronounce booger? Is it just booger? Stinky socks, old bandages. Apparently, this is a new flavor. Old bandages, guys.
This is an awful set. Like, every one of these is bad.
Well, each one also has a counter good flavor.
Yeah, but, like, the way I'm looking at this, toothpaste is the best one. So if you get toothpaste, you're laughing. That's basically mint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, everything else...
They got stink bug. Dirty dishwasher doesn't sound too bad.
What?
I mean...
It sounds pretty bad.
Okay, in comparison to, like, dead fish.
Like, are you thinking about, like, oh, I had something delicious for dinner, and now the remains are on my dirty dishes, and that's what it tastes like?
It could be
I don't
dirty
think
dish
so.
water, Like...
That's not better.
Old bandage.
All right.
So, okay, how are we going to do this?
Let's do maybe, I guess rock, paper, scissors might take too long.
Camille can just go first.
Yeah,
Or
Camille.
Camille can choose.
Okay.
You want to go first or want to go last? You don't get to go in the middle.
So Sam, you can go first then.
Okay.
All
I'll go
right.
first. I
So-
still have the candy in my mouth. by the way.
So Jin, you go first.
Oh, okay. Oh, lordy. All right. So, let's go. I'm spinning the wheel. And...
She's dropped on.
oh, no. Okay, so I can either be picking Tutti Frutti or Stinky Socks.
That's not that bad. Eat the socks. Eat
I'm just
the
gonna
socks.
I'm just gonna keep a napkin close by just in case that this does not go the way that I planned. I am just looking to see if we can find the... Okay, so I think it's these guys here.
Go
Pink
for it.
ones, right? Yeah.
Camille can verify that Jean's not cheating.
All right, so this looks like it, right? Yeah, that looks like the. So this one looks like Tutti Frutti. It's like a light pink with colorful splotches on it. All right, here we go.
There's the remnants of sock. We're watching her expressions. She can't figure out what it is, so it's probably decent. We're complete radio silence. She doesn't know what she's eating, so it can't be that bad. Probably not socks. But
I mean, it's not like
it
doesn't taste like Tutti Frutti, but
it doesn't taste bad.
it doesn't taste awful either.
Okay, well, I think socks would have been one of the better ones anyway, compared to like a liver flavored candy. Right? Like, it's not like some people really enjoy liver, but like I don't want that in my candy.
No.
Yeah. All right, Camille, let's give it a go.
Okay. Please.
Whoa.
No, it was the same.
Hold on there. Hold
She
on.
was gonna go. Okay, fine. We'll go for the so she did do the stinky socks, but it slid over and it became a pomegranate or old bandage. So
All
the
right.
pink one.
Oh.
So it's those red ones right there.
Like this one?
Yeah.
So it looks pretty innocent.
Looks pretty. Red pill or blue pill.
Oh no!
She definitely got the
She
bandage.
definitely got the bandage. How does it?
Now please describe it to our listeners. How you were pranked by your coworkers today.
It tastes like hospital. Like when you're in an emergency room and
It's kind of fascinating. Like how did they manage to package the taste of hospital into a candy? And they're like, this is a pretty good job. I've never eaten a hospital.
I've always been curious about that. Like, I'm sure they have like a whole team of like scientists just like in the
Oh my
background
goodness.
testing different chemicals and. Oh man, imagine being the food taster like
Oh yeah.
for these. Like, does this taste like dirty socks?
Oh my goodness. So welcome to Canada again. Even though you've been here 3 years, we do weird things like this. All right.
All right.
What's that say? I
Looks
don't
like
know whether
it's
you want to
gonna
count
be-
this.
So it's
Barf
peach
or-
or barf.
Peach
So
or barf?
peach or barf.
What color is that? I don't
I
know.
believe it's the orange.
There's an orange one.
The orange with the.
There's like only 2 orange ones on here.
Yeah, there's 2 orange.
All right, I'm going.
So it's either.
So far, Sam's expression is very neutral. I think he's trying to figure out. Oh! It just turned very. It looks like he might even barf himself.
Oh.
I gotta
Is it
I
say,
don't think I
fish?
got the right one.
Is it dead fish?
maybe it's a dead fish flavor because I know there's 2 oranges.
Dead fish?
I don't know. I just want to get rid of it in my mouth. It tastes like moldy cheese.
I think there is a moldy cheese.
I really wish we bought water or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. We definitely did
We
not
thought
get
about
any.
the tissues.
We did not think this through.
All right.
Let's keep it going. I want to
All
get
right,
this out
one
of my
more.
mouth.
Yeah, me too.
Just one more. Let's see.
Oh no.
It was the
Rotten
blue.
egg or butternut
Oh,
popcorn.
okay.
Okay, I've had the rotten egg. It's disgusting.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Probably the worst one.
Okay.
Oh my
So
god.
I'm
it's
going
the little
in.
yellow one.
To be honest, I don't even like the good flavor, like buttered popcorn
Yeah.
jelly
Popcorn's
beans
not that good.
is not. Yeah. So either way, this is gonna be like a 0% chance of like
I can't
happiness.
believe we paid money for this. Did we win? We're all rooting for that egg. We're watching her expressions. Yep.
Oh,
Bingo.
okay.
Jean has won her own game once again. If we had captions, which we don't, it would say inaudible.
Oh my. Oh.
Oh, this one looks gross.
That, I'm pretty sure, was the worst one.
Okay, I just need to. I'm sorry. I just need to collect myself a bit. Like the flavor.
While Jean's
It's just
dying,
lingering in my mouth.
We'll give Camille her last one.
I'm just gonna take a Takis here just to wash this out.
Imagine taking the blue heat to wash off the taste in your mouth.
So this one is either berry blue or toothpaste.
Mm.
So that's the
Did
best
you
one.
cheat?
No, I didn't.
Fine.
So let's try the blue
You
one.
can just pop that right through. Toothpaste is basically a palate cleanser.
And that's berry blue. So
And she won that too.
yeah.
Sure.
2.
All right, last one. Here we go.
Oh.
Wait, what? No, I'm not gonna do the barf again. I hit barf 3 times.
It's
Okay.
a sign.
No, I'm not. I want to try something else. What is that?
Liver and onions.
Oh.
Cappuccino.
This was actually my worst nightmare.
Uh-oh.
I don't even eat onions normally.
It's this one, I think.
I think it's this one. Choose wisely.
Where's the other one?
I think it's the brown. I think it's the dark brown looking
Okay,
one.
I'm looking at you. Cappuccino me, man. I'm so scared. It is not cappuccino.
So, have you ever had liver before? Like,
This tastes like French onion soup in a Jelly Belly.
Mm.
I don't want to move my tongue right now real bad because I'm trying to dodge this taste.
really? But French onion soup is
It's
amazing.
pretty good, yeah.
Not in a jelly bean.
With liver.
How did I hit what? I actually can't talk.
Yeah, you are the unlucky one.
I'm really
Would
unlucky
you
at live air
like
games.
Talkies to
Yeah.
clear out
I'm
that?
Maybe I can take one.
Cool. So
Awesome.
does that just about wrap it up?
Yeah. Well, we did it, guys. We went through our first official food challenge. It was, I have to say, I mean, do you guys feel closer now? Like, like this is a very nice team bonding experience, wasn't
I
it?
feel disgusting. I can't wait to get ready to try some
Yeah.
of this.
Oh yes, we're definitely gonna make some of our other coworkers with us.
Try that,
Try this. We have a team dinner in just a bit, so we'll make sure that they get a taste of this for their dessert. All right. Well, I have to say that is going to be the end of our show today. We are, as mentioned, we will be resuming a new season in the new year. We'll definitely be making announcements. But in the meantime, definitely check out our other guests. I know we only got to highlight a few of our favorites, but all of them essentially are our favorites. Let's be honest. They all have really great things to learn and share about their own experiences. So please feel free to check out the other episodes. And we will also make sure to share our own links as well as the other companies that we have referenced as well. Thank you, everyone. Hope you enjoy the new year, enjoy your holidays, and we'll see you in the new year. Take care.
Bye.
Bye,
Thanks,
everyone.
everyone.